I'd like to introduce you to a very, very special person. Introducing Helena Starr. Yes. Thank you
Hello.
for joining us here on Reform Radio.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I have to say, you asked me first to do a guest spot on your show on
I did.
Foundation FM. I want to ask you a little bit about your journey. How did you get to Foundation FM and how did you become a DJ? And was it always
Yeah.
what you wanted to do? Because, I mean, this Amazonian woman, absolutely. I mean, you've always kind of got to skate a bit carefully about saying whether female DJs look great and whatever,
I hear
but
you.
you look awesome. Like there's just so much radiant beauty coming out of that face. It's just like,
If you could see me blushing, I am.
but you've just got such a beautiful energy. So yeah, tell me about your journey. Tell me about how you became Helena Starr DJ.
Well, let me tell you. Also, I feel like it's so awkward having to tell people, but it's Helena Starr.
Helena, I see.
There's the little accent. I know.
You're allowed to correct.
Thank you. My mum always tells me, like, Helena, you should say. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But Helena. How did Helena? That's what it is. Anyway. How did I get to where I am right now? I mean, I started out in radio when I was 16.
Okay.
I'd always felt like I'd wanted to be within some kind of part of the music industry. I wasn't sure exactly where, but I loved performing. I loved drama. And my mum actually suggested I should have a go on radio. So through my uncle and some mates, they got me in touch with my local radio station, Kane FM.
Okay. I know Kane FM
in Guildford.
Yes, man, that's Michael Jazzy M.
Yes, it is.
Jazzy M station.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And Lickle. Yeah. So Kane FM were brilliant in giving me a week's work experience where I was able to do my own show at the end of the week. Right. And they were like, "Oh, you sound pretty good on the radio. Do you want to come and like help us out with some breakfast shows?" So you know how it is. You kind of get to grips with the breakfast shows. I got my own show. I stayed there for the next 3 years. It was wonderful. And from that, I learned to DJ again through a family friend of mine. And I guess it's so funny because I now look back on all these moments and I never really expected I'd be playing the shows and around the people I am right now. But I mean, I'm so grateful and absolutely loving it. Even though we're in a pandemic, I've still made such wonderful connections like with you and still able to make those connections through radio and mediums like that. So DJing kind of came secondary to radio. Actually, I'd always played electronic music since I started on radio. Actually quite a mix, but it was always something which I absolutely loved. So
the mix is important, really.
Yeah, this is it.
Interrupting, but you have to show. I mean, I think definitely in terms of radio, you have to show scope. You have to show variety. You have to show appreciation. So second, you can adapt and be flexible. You might have to stand in for somebody.
Yeah.
Or, even when you do your own show, it has to have like a bigger remit than just this one little genre house that you like to play when you're in a club. Your club set will be totally different to your radio set.
Exactly, this is it. And I think learning how to mix actually really helped with that and helped with me curating a show differently to how I was before. I was kind of putting loads of different songs together and seeing what happened, do you know what I mean? But once I learned to mix, I was going, oh, that sounds nice together, that works well. And I guess that's kind of where it all started. And I joined Foundation FM 2 years ago. It's been 2 beautiful years.
So how did you meet the people that started Foundation FM then? Because were they like breakaway BBC people, I think?
Yeah, so they have had the 3 amazing women who run Foundation. They have been in radio for a very long time and worked in the music industry as like pluggers and as producers and doing some brilliant stuff with UK radio. I didn't actually know any of them before I joined the station. Right. I saw their account on Instagram, and it said like coming soon, and I went on it. I saw my friends following it. I was like, what is this? And I found out it was a radio station just about to open. So I just dropped Frankie, who's the station manager at Foundation, a message saying, hey, like, I'd love to have a show. Here's what I'd done before. I sent some links to some things, and she was like, oh, actually, we've got a slot on our opening week. Do you want to have a go? And I was like, yes. So I was very lucky to go in on the second day that Foundation had ever been on air. And I mean, I have to say, like, walking into that studio that's one of my favorite memories of being with Foundation. I walked in, I'd never met anyone from the station, and they were like, Heléna, oh my God, so nice to meet you. Oh, I can't wait to have you on the radio show. Like, do you know what I mean? Just Brilliant. The best energy. And I have to say, I say this everywhere I go, that is the energy you will receive when you go into Foundation every single time.
Well, so where is it based, and which part of the country? Where is Foundation?
They're based in Peckham in London.
Okay, they're based in London ting.
It's a London ting. It's a South London ting.
South London ting.
And so they're based in Peckham, which is a great hub anyway for like culture in terms of music and art and fashion and stuff like that. But they've got a great studio set up there. It's really fun.
And it's online as well. So
yeah,
in fact, the reach is international, even though it's based in Peckham, the reach is international.
The reach is international. We're international. You can check us out on foundation.fm, on Mixcloud as well. We're all over.
Good. And what about your Mixcloud and SoundCloud and everything?
Yes.
Kind of busy, or going on?
Yeah, so I started putting mixes up around 2.5 years ago. I hadn't really put many mixes up before that, my radio shows, but nothing like super personal. I feel like it's quite personal to put mixes out. So I started putting them on SoundCloud a couple of years ago, and it's doing pretty well. It's Heléna Star DJ.
Even though I have to say,
my lovely mug.
Woman, that is fantastic. Fantastic. She's giving me the power here. She's giving me the pure power. Is because there is very little online about you. Like, your about sections are just like, I will make you dance.
That's it. I like to leave it to imagination.
Like, my bio is like, I've done this, I've been here, I've been there, I did it, chat. Yours just says, I will make you dance.
I think I need to update that.
Deal with it. I have been looking all over the net for information about you. So we've now
you're calling me out.
Well, no, not in a bad way, because I actually think it made me think about how important, and whether it's important to blah, blah, blah about yourself, or whether it's actually better to keep a bit of mystery.
I think it's a good combination. I think there's a combination. I feel like it's nice to know, though, isn't it? Like, when I did research about you, because when I had you on my show.
It's like the Magna Carta. It's like I don't even know where to start. It's like I'm asleep before it's like I read one paragraph and I'm snoring. It's like, oh God.
Not at all.
It's like, can't I just get the Brody's Notes version?
Well, I read the Magna Carta, and I have to say it was very interesting. It was very interesting.
So tell me then, musically, if you had to pick 3 tracks that I know this is mean because I'm asking you on this spot and I didn't ask you.
I'm like, oh my
God.
You
gave me a month to think about it and I did it for you. But if you had to pick 3 tracks, past, present and future, because it's like Christmas. So let's do Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present and the Ghost of Christmas Future. If you had to pick those 3 records, what would they be?
As we were talking about it, it's popped into my head. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to exit full screen so I can just make sure I'm not doing the wrong wrong artist. Okay, yes. So I'll Make You Dance. This is my past track, and it is by Maurice Joshua. And it's from the Tracks record. I need to find the exact info because I want to give you the right information. Maurice Joshua and Paul Johnson.
Yeah.
And that is from 2004, that track. So that is going to be my past.
Okay.
It has to be my favourite. She is my favourite artist of the now. It's Lady Monix.
Okay, I don't know who she is.
Paulette, you're gonna love this track.
Okay.
Hailing from Detroit, she makes wonderful dance music.
Okay.
It again will most certainly get you on your feet and make you dance. And she released this track in 2019, and it's called Track 39, featuring Rashida. And it may be one of my favourite songs of all time.
Really?
Of all time.
Oh, that's fighting talk. That's fighting talk. Is that just dance music or of any music at all?
Dance music, but also maybe ever.
Really?
It's up there. It's up there. Tell you what, it's up there.
Okay.
Gosh, okay, I feel like I'm really on the spot here, Paula. I'm trying to think of some good music for you.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be dance music. If you're thinking of future, it can be any music. It can be any music. So.
And the future, what do I want to hear more of in the future? Yeah. I would love Huey Mnemonic to blow up. He already is. He's from New York. And sorry, no, he's not. He's not from New York. I think he's Detroit or Atlanta, but he's from the US. And his music spans across all of dance music. I'd say it's not just house or techno. Okay. It's electro. So it's vocal. It's breakbeat. It's so complex, and his catalog already is growing to such a beautiful state. I just can't wait. You know, one of those people. I'm like, I cannot wait to see what you're going to do in the next the next year, 5 years, 10 years. I'm just super excited about him.
Okay, so there you have named, Maurice Joshua, I know, yeah. Definitely. Lady Monix, I don't know. And the third one, you said his name was?
Huey Mnemonic.
Huey Mnemonic, I don't know. So where do you source your music?
Do you know what? I go all over, but I have to say my number one spot is Bandcamp.
Oh, right, okay.
That's where I do most of my searching, YouTube and Bandcamp. But Bandcamp, over the past couple of years, I've just found some beautiful music. I think that's the wonderful thing about Bandcamp. You can find music from all over the world, and they're not necessarily categorized in order of like how, well, you can do it in like best selling and stuff like that, but if you just go like latest, you can just find the most diverse music. And I found some great music from like Chile, and you know, it's just I found I know we can get a bit techie, interfacey, whatever with it, but I found it quite difficult. Bandcamp, I couldn't find my way in there. It was like being in a warehouse full of stuff and someone just going, just anywhere. It is quite awkward. I do hear you on that. I feel like it's not in a position on the page which I feel like makes sense. You have to scroll all the way down. Yeah, you really have to. You really have to be. You really have to be a truffle pig. And the way everybody has different shopping routines, whether they're buying clothes or shoes or music. We've all got our different ways of going and searching for tunes. And I don't particularly like shopping. I don't like getting caught in the vortex. No. I go with a point of, I know what I want. I know what I want it to sound like. I will look outside the remix. I'm not expecting it to be obvious. But I also haven't got time to get lost down a rabbit hole of music that I'm not going to play.
Like
I hear you.
at some point I need to find something there that is going to bounce out at me and just give me life, because I'd buy it from Beatport, Tracksuit, you know, Juno I can't because I'm not playing vinyl at the moment, and they vinyl. What's the other one? Where do I go?
I'm finding that's a problem I'm finding at the moment. There's a lot of tracks that I'm like, it's only on vinyl.
It's only on vinyl. You know, I was like putting my set together last night for this Glitterbox stream.
Amazing.
I was looking on Juno, and I was like, oh yeah, that's dope. It's like, oh no, it's vinyl. I
can't afford it right now.
I can't afford it. It's never going to be here in time. I need it tomorrow. I can't be doing this delivery time 2 days, 3 days thing. I need it now. So I had to put everything back, you know, out of my basket. So yeah, I mean, I really want to get into the Bandcamp thing, and I have myself on various mailing lists of it. Don't get me wrong, I have got bits, but I don't classify myself yet as a Bandcamper.
Do you know what will help you get there?
What will help me get there?
The wonderful crowdsourced lists, Black Bandcamp.
Black Bandcamp. Okay.
Black Bandcamp.
Black Bandcamp.
So they are a crowdsourced list, and it is all the Black artists that you will find on Bandcamp in one place, and the interface is very, very clear.
Yeah, good.
And it's great. I'm going to send it to you.
Good, please do, because it's you know, it sounds like I'm being really a bit childish, but
no, not at all.
When I go on a website, I need it to, you know, I'll look around, I'm crate digging, I'm not just buying people top 100 at all. I kind of know what I want, and I go into that section, and then I'll look and say, I want, like, back in the day, I want what's the new re-edit, I want this, and I'll go for Con, I'll see what Con's put out, and then I'll have a look at Late Night Tough Guy, and I'll have a look at various other people, and then the suggestions, I always tend to go to the suggestions before I buy that. And that'll take you off.
Suggestions is a great little one. I love it.
You know, there is very much to be said for the suggestions algorithm.
Yeah.
Keeps you away from the top 100. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Really
I do love a little digital dig.
I do, but you can get stuck in it. You like
spend hours.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you still
I'm like
hands on.
Like, look, I'll just have a little look online, some music, and I'll do the other bits I need to do in a little bit. And then 5 hours later, you're like, I'm glued.
You've not eaten, your tea's cold. Your wash is still in the washing machine. Tip mug's cold. You still got your pajamas on. You know, someone's knocking on your door saying,
"Oh God,
Amazon man's trying to deliver something. Will you go down again?"
I just need to hear this drop. 1 second.
You know, because that's how it is at the moment. So, have you then? Done any productions? Is that going to be something that you do?
Do you know what? I would love to one day. I really, really would. I haven't yet, but I'm going to say yet because I don't want to close that off. I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm really enjoying the DJing side of things, but I'm also at a point where I'm like, I know what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So I feel like, why not?
Is it time?
Try and make what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I know that is so much easier said than done.
Yeah, it's giant leap.
I'm like, I know, I'll just put a few things down. I know, I'll get it straight away. That's not the case. I'm aware of that, but I think why not start, you know?
See, one of the things I would say as well is that it's always very expected that DJs should be producers, because first of all, that's the way that promoters are employing DJs to play, you know, outside of the pandemic. That's the way they're choosing people to go on lineups for festivals and clubs and tours and this, that and the other. So it's like, you must produce. I don't think we're all on this earth to follow exactly the same path.
I completely agree.
For some reason, it's kind of okay for say like Dave Haslam, he's a Manchester DJ. He's never done a production in his life.
Yeah.
Never made a single record.
Yeah.
But he's written lots of books, and
Mm.
he's presented TV programs,
Yeah.
and he DJ'd and toured the world for years. He's never produced a record, and he's still like AAA list echelon of DJ.
Yeah, you're so right.
And you know, Norman J, he hasn't made
Mm.
tons of productions, but he's had a radio show.
Mm.
He's got his party, Good Times, and the carnival, and his
Yeah.
work.
I
And
think that's how I see myself
so,
being. I know I'm like, oh, maybe I'll produce, maybe I will, but
or
I
maybe
think
you won't. Maybe you'll do
maybe I
something
won't.
else.
I love the presenting side of things. I love radio. I love DJing, but there's so much that, like you said, there's so many other things that are a part of the industry we are in, or not as well. Like you can do other things too. I feel like that's something which I always forget. I'm like, I have to do everything that is in line with DJ, you know.
And I think we can really get lost on that. You know, I have found it one of the biggest frustrations in my career is that I've been kind of trying to do things that people have expected me to do. So people expect me to make a record. So it's like, I've got to make a record. I've got to make a record. But it's like,
do I want to?
What do I? Why can't I just do what I'm best at? I'm really good at talking. I'm really good at radio. I'm really good at writing. And I am really, really super good at playing and selecting music. That's what I do. That's what I do. You know, and there's that like this, I don't know whether it's a women and men thing, but I think there's a way of them kind of trying to force you into, you know, round peg, square hole. It's like, you've got to do that. It's like,
well, I don't know if it trickles back into, you know, how as Black women, you have to kind of work 2 times, 10 times as hard. And it's that in my head, I'm always like, I work hard anyway. And as do you, we work extra hard, but I'm always like, maybe I've got to do extra, like everything to be the best at everything. But that's not always the case. Like you said, you can play to your strengths. You can do really well with them. And there's nothing to say that you shouldn't be able to do those.
Yeah.
And those, you don't have to
and
go all the way off.
You really don't have to go all the way down what other people expect. I think it's much better as a DJ, as a broadcaster, as a presenter to do, and this is the advice that I would give anybody now, is to do what you want to do. Don't do what other people tell you to do, because if you try and do what other people tell you to do, one, you'll never be happy because it's not what you want to do. And 2, you probably won't do it very well.
Yeah.
Because it's not instinctive, it's not natural. If you want to make music, you're going to make music because it will be so natural that, you know, it's just coming. Of
course.
That's what you do. But that's not saying that there won't be a point when all of a sudden you'll be playing around on your garage band on your phone train, and you'll get a hook and go,
oh.
sharing your headphones with someone in the carriage, like, check me.
Lay something down on this.
Do you know, that's not saying that will never happen, but I would like people to feel like they're not forced into following like a very homogenous, almost like Lego block career structure for DJs.
Yeah, as we're creatives, and that's just not the case. Like you shouldn't have to do that. And as a creative, it's about expressing your own creativity and your own personal creativity, not always fitting into that mold.
So what coming out, I mean, we're just about to come to the end of the year that never happened.
Yeah.
2020. I shouldn't make myself laugh like that. I just snotted all over the year that never happened. It's like, oh my God, what happened to 2020? It's just like a drive-by in one way, and like, and then I'm looking at people and thinking, oh my God, they've aged about 50 years because it's It's done a weird thing to humans.
It has. I've gained a bit of weight, but you know.
And always in the neck. It's just like taking all my selfies like this.
And I'm like, what?
Polar neck, Queen Polar neck. I know why the Elizabethans had roughs.
Like, I'm not mad. I've been enjoying myself, eating lots of food, and I'm not mad.
It's like all the time whenever I do interviews and people say, how have you passed your time through lockdown? I mean, I've done some interviews and I've done quite a few live streams and I've written a bit. And then in my head, I'm thinking, I've gone.
Paula, what did you say to me before we went on today? You were messaging me earlier.
I said, I need to eat before I do this thing. And I've just been picking myself on Stollen and chocolate. And when I get to the 4 bar on my meter, I'll be fine. I'll be right. It's all about the eating. It's all about eating. If
we're inside, if we can't go outside, what do you expect us to do? Exactly. Let us eat.
It's like nailing the fridge down. Covering it in like gaffer tape like that, and then it's like, oh no,
but let's be honest, we still get in.
That's what I mean. It's like no, I'll just one more chocolate. I'll just take one more. No, just one more. Just one.
Oh gosh.
So we're at the end of 2020. What has been your absolute high point of this year? Because I kind of want people to take a positive. If you could take a positive from this year, what would it be? And not COVID.
Not COVID.
COVID positive. COVID negative is actually the positive of this year.
Yes, exactly. I've built some amazing relationships this year.
Yeah.
I met my partner. And also...
How did you do that? How did you do that?
Magic.
Skills.
I know. Thank you.
Skills.
But also friendships too. I've somehow you're making me laugh.
Trick here. I am missing a trick. Serious. I am missing a trick.
Do you know what? It's just this year has been so rubbish in so many ways.
Yeah.
But the people I have managed to like keep around me and build even stronger relationships through adversities and through sharing pain and and sharing love. That for me has been, I guess, my savior of the year. I've been so grateful to have those friendships and relationships, and I guess that's my high point. Oh wait. Do you know what? I'm thinking of 2020 from March onwards. That's why I'm not counting those first 3 months.
Yeah.
So in February, I was looking through some photos the other day, and I hosted my first night, and it was incredible. Beautiful. With the Keep Hush team. I hosted a Heléna Star Presents where it was all women lineup. 80% of the women were Black, and it was a heavy electronic night, and it was honestly just amazing. Just loads of friends and family and new people and olds coming through, and that was super special for me. So I'd like to bring that into the new year and hopefully do some more things with that.
Okay, so what's your then plan for 2021? What are you feeling is going to be your natural
progression?
Progression, natural level for January, February, maybe into March.
I'm going to start it out as I mean to go on. I want to produce some amazing radio shows.
Yes.
Have some great people on, have some great chats. I think just keep the energy going and keep it.
Totally.
I think at the end of this year, I'm feeling a bit like I'm just going like this. So Christmas, have a bit of a reset. January, hopefully like up this,
Well, we're animals. We're animals.
Yeah.
keep reminding people.
It's so hard because I'm trying not to plan too much. Because this year, if it's taught me anything, so you can't plan too much.
Anything. Can't everything. It's true. Everything changes within a day or a week, or you can think that you've got something locked down and it's going to happen, and then 2 weeks on, the government will say, well,
no. Well, that's it. I feel like this year, another thing that I guess it has taught me, and I'm still learning, I think, is to be adaptable and to be okay with change, and to allow it into my life, and not to, I think I'm learning it still. But
and before sort of as last question, and like power question, this one, because obviously this year we've had the real like powerful explosion of Black Lives Matter and Black joy, and this rediscovery of our history, and this rediscovery of our voices. Different voices are being heard. We've got like the Steve McQueen Small Axe films on TV. We've now got a Black the woman that's presenting Good Morning TV on ITV is
Alison Hammond.
And so we've got all these changes. So how did you feel coming through Black Lives Matter, that the George Floyd and everything? How did that touch your life? And has it made a difference to how you work? Has it made a difference to tell me.
I think everyone in the Black community will join hands in saying that it was traumatic, to put it bluntly, and I think it brought up a lot of old trauma for me. But again, when I spoke about relationships and the people around me, being able to kind of release that trauma and really work through it with people has been super healing for me. I think it's an ever ongoing process, but the conversations which are starting to come out, and I feel really hopeful for these conversations on changing how our industry works. I mean, I only speak from own experience in the world I'm in right now, but I've been working with people, even though I don't know if you saw the Techno is Black teas that I released. I think being able to have that voice and to really believe in that voice and go, no, I'm allowed to say that because I can, you know,
and because it's true,
and because it's true, and it's a fact. But I think before this year, I didn't have that confidence.
No one did.
No, this is it, and I don't feel like we could. I think my idea of being out speaking up, I would be shut down because of past experience. Like that's not because I didn't think that's because I've been told I cannot speak up. Whereas now I feel like we are speaking up. We are reclaiming our time for real. And it's not going unheard, and I'm not letting it go.
And are you going to keep up the momentum into 2021? Are you going to continue these conversations?
100%. I think got some cool things coming out hopefully soon around these topics again, and working with people in like immediate communities, hopefully to change these perceptions and to make sure we're implementing real change into this society, I guess.
Absolutely, because the only way that the change is going to be made is just by really just keeping talking. You can't just talk about it one day like Christmas and then forget about it for 364 days till Christmas comes again. It's like, actually, life is all year. It's year round. So we have really, and that's everyone, not just Black people, and it's the same for any minority issue as well. It's every day. It's not just one day. And that's how the change will come about. And I think with somebody as powerful and as awesome as you, as one of the mouthpieces, but you know, you're like, you're the new guard coming through, you know, and this is where I see, and this is why I'm talking to you as well. It's like, of one thing, you know, one of the messages I've taken away from this year, from 2020, is just the positivity, the hope I felt in speaking to all, yourself, Jaguar, Anne's, Jam Supernova. It's just like, there's all of you that have a collective voice that is so loud and so powerful, but with an energy that is so pure and so positive that it totally gives me hope, and it makes me proud to be a Black woman. And that's,
I love that.
That's why I've invited you onto my show, just to tell you that to your face.
That's giving me goosebumps. That's giving me real goosebumps. No, but seriously, I mean, I think this is why I wanted you on my show as well, because you are such an inspiration to all of the people you just mentioned. Like 100%. You, like, even being able to sit here and have these conversations with you is amazing. And
we continue. This will continue.
100%.
It's like definitely TBC.
100%.
Continued. And thank you for joining me on Reform Radio. Thank you for that mix. Thank you for inviting me onto my show. But more than anything else, thank you for being you.
Thank you so much for being you. Having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I can't wait to speak to you soon.
Yeah. Take care.
All the love. All the love. All right. Bye.
Bye.